regardless of anything else, I think that's the most important. I don't give a shit if they can't get anything else.
Yeah, just send out the check.
Anything else. Make sure that everybody can get a stimulus check. And I get it. Everybody doesn't need it, but, you know, it's helpful. It's helpful to everybody, you know.
Well, the point of it is to get money flowing back into the economy, correct? You know, can't do it if you don't have the check.
Right. So I think the number one priority, and this is what these senators, both the Republican and Democrats, in my opinion, aren't getting, is we don't give a shit about payroll taxes. We don't care about, because the payroll taxes, all it's going to do is it's a forgiveness now, but you would have to pay it back with interest later. Which he even said, well, if I get reelected, I might forgive it, and you know.
Right.
First of all, he's not getting reelected, so that's out the window. Second of all, nobody cares about a payroll tax. Yeah, it's important in certain things. Unemployment, yes, that's important, obviously. But there's a lot of people who have been on unemployment, who filed for unemployment, who haven't gotten a dime yet. And when they call, they can't get through to anybody. There's people that are owed like thousands of dollars in unemployment.
You know, I had a buddy
there's people
on
that
it.
haven't got the first stimulus yet.
I had a buddy on it, and luckily, I think after 3 weeks of being on it, they finally started sending him. And I think they sent him the 3 weeks in one check first, and you know, so.
Which gets ultra taxed, right?
Yeah.
So.
But I'm thankful he got
I mean, it's good. Yeah, you get something.
Yeah,
you get something, but it's unfortunate that you have to go through all these hoops. Like Congress is getting paid, and like I said, I don't even think this is a. I'll be the first one to blame Trump, but this is not a Trump issue. This is a Republican Democrat issue, and they need to. Anybody that says, "Oh, it's the Democrats," no, it's not. Anybody that says, "Oh, it's the Republican," no, it's not. It's both of them. Like, their priorities are fucked up. Like, it should be a stimulus bill immediately. And then they can go into session and try to work on all that extra whatever bullshit. You know, get the stimulus and the unemployment taken care of, and then worry about all that other stuff. Like, because that's not going to be stuff that we see immediately anyway. What people need is immediate relief. Immediate everything. Make sure that these people that haven't got unemployment, and I'm not one of them, but I know a lot of people that haven't got their unemployment, make sure they get their damn unemployment. There's no reason why all these other countries were able to provide huge economic relief packages to their citizens, and we can't do that. The supposed greatest country in the world, but we can't provide relief to the people that need it in our country. Like, I don't want to hear that "Make America Great" bullshit. We're not even helping people in times of a pandemic. We're like, there's nobody answering phones to answer these people that aren't getting their unemployment. People that haven't got the first stimulus check, and now you're talking about a second one, and who knows? That's up in the air. Shit. What happens come October? These idiots can't agree on a stimulus package because they're haggling over some shit that's not even important. That's not going to help anybody immediately. Do I like that Trump said it could possibly be more than 1,200? Yeah, of course. Nobody's going to turn away money. Is it going to make me elect his dumbass again in November? Fuck no. It's the shit that he should have been doing back in February. We should be on our third or fourth stimulus package by now. Shit. The minute the country was shut down, there should have been a stimulus. And every month after, stimulus. Like $1,200. That's most people's bi-weekly paycheck. That's supposed to last you 4 months? Like, come on, man. Are you serious? That's ridiculous. That don't even pay most people's rent. That is most people's rent. You're just not supposed to pay everything else?
Right.
Like, fuck out of here. I'm not trying to hear,
but didn't
forgive me. You eventually going to have to pay it.
Wasn't one of the bills, too, something about landlords on rental home properties?
Yeah, like eviction protection, all that.
But that's still not something that he can.
But you're eventually
control,
going to have
right?
to pay that, though.
Yeah, right.
So that's not helpful.
You're gonna have to go
okay,
back.
you're protected for the 3 months that you're out of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You're protected. Exactly. This, Fred, that's exactly the point I'm going to make. You're protected for the 3 months that you can't pay your damn rent. But then by the time you get back to work, you owe 6 months of rent. And there ain't no protection.
Yeah, and there's
like,
no payment
on.
plan either. It's give me my money.
Right, they want their money. I've been waiting 6 months for my money. And that's only certain, it's not even, I don't know that it applies to like private landlords, like my landlord. I don't know that it applies, like my landlords are cool as shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're awesome and wouldn't care, but everybody's isn't going to be like that.
Right.
So, every bill, your car bill's going to,
Yep.
You can get forgiveness, but as soon as that shit's over, they want all that money.
Yeah.
Or you ain't gonna have no car.
Yeah.
Same with all those bills. Eventually, they're gonna want their money.
You know, there's
Period.
something I don't know if you want to touch on this more, but there's something interesting that I saw off of the subject of all these bills and everything. There's a lot of mobsters coming out on YouTube lately that are talking about their past life, which the reason why I find that very intriguing is they were very keen on secrecy, these mob guys. And there's one guy in particular named
Mike
Michael
Francis.
Yeah.
But he's been doing this for years. Over
Yeah,
20,
apparently, yeah.
25, 30 years.
He's been, yeah, but what I'm saying is, even not just him, Sammy the Bull has recently.
But Sammy the Bull's been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah, okay.
It's a lot of them that
But
I get what you're saying. I think there's more of a platform, and they're just going more public as it. So probably 15, maybe 10 years ago, they'd be blacked out, right?
Right, exactly.
And they'd be talking,
Now
they'd be saying the stuff, but they'd be blacked out. And I think they even did that with what's the movie with Johnny Depp and Al Pacino?
Oh, Donnie Brasco.
Donnie Brasco.
What's his real name?
I don't
Do you
know.
remember?
Joe
Pistone.
Pistone.
Yeah.
So they used to not show Joe Pistone's face.
Now Joe Pistone's a celebrity.
He's public.
Him and Michael Francis are
Yes.
friends. But here's
like
something
public.
that's very interesting to me too. You've seen the movie Casino?
Mm-hmm.
One of my favorite movies, by the way. That guy who is
Joe Pesci character?
no, the guy Frank Vincent played.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
the guy
yeah,
that
yeah.
supposedly set up Joe Pesci?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, you motherfucking.
Yeah, they beat him death in the
His
corner.
name's Frank
But
Collada in real life.
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
So, you know what's funny? No. The dude with the hair?
The guy that has the gray hair, Frank Vincent.
The
He
white
doesn't
hair,
have. Yes, he's
So,
playing Frank. Frank
what's funny
Collada
in
is
that movie?
supposed to be him. Yeah. What's that?
So, what happened in Goodfellas?
He got killed. Didn't he spit
By
on
Joe
Joe
Pesci.
Pesci? So
And then
it's in
Casino,
reverse. Yeah.
Yes.
He set Joe Pesci up. But
Mobster.
Frank Collada actually did the advising on that movie because that's a real life situation. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. So
what was Joe Pesci's the real?
oh, I forget his name. I know who you're talking about. Sorrentino. Start.
That's Mike Sorrentino's from Jersey Shore. Oh,
okay.
shit.
I thought his last name was Sorrentino, the Pesci character.
Oh, maybe in the movie, but that's not the character he's based on. Like the real life dude that he's based on. That's not him.
Well,
But that really did happen. They did
Yeah.
bury those brothers in the cornfield.
see, somebody told me it wasn't a cornfield. Frank Collada said it happened in a basement, supposedly.
Killed him in the basement. Buried him in the cornfield.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So, but they killed him in the cornfield on the
On the movie, yeah. That's more for
entertainment.
it looks better in a movie.
Just Frank Collada came out and said a bunch of stuff. He was a Chicago mobster who ended up going to Vegas or what have you. And another interesting thing is New York had like 5 main families of mobsters. Chicago had one. Chicago
It wasn't
had
even
one
they were called the Syndicate. They weren't even called them. It wasn't the mob. It was the Syndicate.
syndicate.
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. But yeah, Chicago had
Big
one.
Joe
thing going on.
Calacimo.
Yeah. So it's just interesting that a lot of these guys, Nikki, there you go, Nikki
Santorno.
however you pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's
That's
interesting to me that these mobsters were so hush on everything and wouldn't talk. You talk, you're a rat. Now these guys are doing a ton of interviews talking about past stuff. Now a lot of these guys they're talking about are dead. I understand that, but still, it's just weird to me that seems to me so taboo compared to what the life used to be.
I don't think so.
Well,
and the reason why here's my 2 cents. I've been watching mob shit since ever since I can remember. I watched The Godfather when I was a little kid, and shoot, and I probably watched it 100 times, which isn't the most accurate.
Well, The Godfather
mob
for
reflection,
its time, though,
but for its, I mean, cinematically, yes, it's amazing.
For its time, people.
But for accuracy, it's not.
Speaking of that, I'm sorry to cut you off. Do you know one of the guys that plays
Carlo?
Carlo?
Yeah. Yes.
Gianni Russo.
Yeah.
He wasn't particularly a mobster.
No, he was
a
connected.
hang-around, but that was his first movie.
Yeah, he was
And
connected.
he became an actor after that. That's crazy.
He used to always be on Howard
Yeah,
Stern.
do you remember who his guy was that he hung around?
Costello.
Frank Costello.
Costello,
right?
he hung around.
Yeah. But no, I mean Costello was the main guy that supposedly watched after him and everything.
Well, Costello is the one.
Yeah.
So Costello is the one that got shot in the head, and they allowed him to retire.
My brother Aaron's on. Aaron, what's going on, man?
So here's my take on the whole why it's changed. So it became easier to become a rat than it became to be a mobster.
Yeah.
It became more profitable to be a rat than a mobster. Like Mike Francis gets book deals, gets all this other stuff. He's making probably more and doesn't have to worry about the FBI chasing him or a rival family.
Yeah,
like he had a gas scheme.
Yes, where he
was making
out of tax.
almost like
millions
a week. Yeah,
like hundreds.
That's what I said. It was on Vlad TV, right? You watched that?
Listen, I like Michael Francis so
Did you watch
much.
the thing where he talked about Jordan? That was a little bullshit.
Yeah, I did.
That was a little bullshit.
I like Michael Francis. Not necessarily. Yeah.
And I'll tell you why it was bullshit. Just so we can wrap the Jordan part up. So Vlad interviewed one of the guys that killed Michael Jordan.
Yep.
So that completely negated everything Michael Francis said about Michael Jordan, and gambling was the reason why his father was dead. But go on. Have you ever watched the documentary about Michael
Francis
and how his dad, like, he came to
Sonny
the prison,
Francis, yeah,
came to the prison.
He was
103
103 years old when he died.
But not like his dad, like they were walking around the yard, and his dad, he was telling his dad how he wanted to get out and blah blah blah, and his dad was like telling him, "Yo, motherfucker, look, man, that's not the way this shit works."
Yeah. And supposedly his dad was okay with the hit being put on him.
To the end, yeah, his dad was ruthless. Like,
yeah, his dad was
but that's those old
gangster,
school dudes.
yeah.
Like, it didn't matter. Like they said,
Michael Francis was more of a businessman.
One of the most factual things in Sopranos, and I know this because mobsters have come out and said it, was this is your family even more than your actual family. And them old school guys believe that shit.
Yeah, you're right, Fred. Yeah, that Rico changed
as soon as they started Rico, yeah.
Didn't your boy start that, Giuliani?
He did not, but there was a United States prosecutor that started Rico, and he was like, "Yo," because it was all for
Mr. Matthews. What's going on?
Carlo Gambino. They were trying to find out how they could wrap him up in all these murder things, and once they came up with Rico, they were able to start tying lower level mobsters to the higher level mobsters, and say, well, they got the orders from them, so there's that conspiracy there.
Do you remember when the commission got caught doing that meeting?
That was in the 50s.
Was that in the 50s?
Yeah.
The commission?
Yeah, because
apparently that's
Carlo
when a lot of
Gambino.
that stuff. But you know who never tried to touch the mob? The cross-dresser. What's his name? J. Edgar Hoover.
Right.
Apparently he was kind of scared of the mob, and of course you know the story about JFK. Apparently his father.
RFK.
No, apparently JFK's father was involved with the mob,
Joe.
and apparently that might have been what came down on John and Robert. No. Yeah. That's what I heard. I heard the John F. Kennedy thing was a mob hit.
There's all types of rumors, but it wasn't. I mean, they said it was Cuba.
Cuba?
Yeah, because, I mean, we can get into it. The Bay of Pigs invasion that failed. and Oswald was a Cuban sympathizer because he had defected to Russia and then had defected back.
The guy that killed, didn't Jack Ruby kill Oswald?
Jack Ruby killed Oswald.
Wasn't Jack Ruby tied
Jack
to
Ruby
the
was
mob?
connected to the mafia.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I mean, you can look at that any thousands of ways, but I mean, RFK went after the mob via Jimmy Hoffa with the Teamsters.
Yeah.
RFK was super tough. So remember in Godfather 2 when there's the hearing with Michael.
I don't remember Godfather 2. I've seen it.
Okay, so
I hated the flashbacks from Robert De Niro.
all right,
Yeah.
think this. Okay, so there's Michael is involved in hearings, and Frank Pantangelini is supposed to testify against Michael.
Okay.
And Michael ends up bringing his brother, Frank Pantangelini's brother, over from Italy, and just shows him up at the hearing, and basically he's like, "Yo, go ahead, testify if you want to." So, even in the Godfather Part 2, if you look, one of the senators was RFK. Like, they have an actor with the same accent, everything, because RFK did that. Like, he literally held hearings against the mafia, like trying to bang out, and it was, I think, Joseph Valachi. Remember, they have that, he was the first one to, like, break down the hierarchy of the mob. He was the first one to, he has a book called the Valachi Papers.
You know,
Book, first one. What's
funny is I want to buy Michael Francis and Johnny, I don't know if it's Johnny or
Gianni Russo.
Russo's book. I'm really interested in his book because, you know, you hear these guys talk and it's hard to, like, is it all truth or is some of it puffing themselves up? Because supposedly he slept with Marilyn Monroe when he was
that's why I like
old.
the old A&E biography Mobster thing.
Yeah.
Because that gave a little bit of them. Well, it gave a little bit of them, and then it gave a little bit of the other side. So you, somewhere in the middle is the truth of it, and that's why I like those. I don't like the, because you got to figure, what was the dude from Henry Hill? Henry Hill made up.
That was
from
Goodfellas. Yeah,
made up a
that
lot
was,
of shit.
Ray
Liotta.
Yeah, thank you.
But he made up a lot of
But
shit.
they said also the what's the Netflix movie that I thought was gonna be real good, that the director that I like, who do the mob movies, who I can't think of right now.
Oh, Martin Scorsese.
Yeah, the Irishman. They said that's completely fabricated.
Right, but I mean, a lot of them are. I mean, what's the one with Jack Nicholson? That's
The Departed, but that's not a real story.
It's based off a real.
They bit it from a Chinese movie called Internal Affairs.
Listen, though, that's a lot.
Or you just saying the character?
That's a lot based on. They just call
Wasn't his name Frank Costello in the movie?
No. Yeah, his name is Costello, but The Departed was based on. Oh my gosh! Somebody, if you're on live, look it up. He was the Irish gangster in. He was on FBI's most wanted list. He was on the run forever, and he just got caught recently, within the last 2 or 3 years, and he just died in prison. Can't remember his name.
So, I find it interesting, just going back to the whole thing that set this off, that they're talking. You know what I mean? Because to me, or from what I understood, that was a no-no. So either that means that a lot of old school guys are gone.
Yeah, for sure. All those old school guys are going. You got to figure. Look at John Gotti versus John Gotti Jr.
He said Whitey
Bulger.
Bulger, okay.
It was Whitey Bulger, yes.
He said he got beat to death.
In prison, yeah.
Okay.
After being on the run for like 25 years. And he was old when he got caught. But Whitey Bulger is who Frank Costello was based on.
Another thing, too. Donnie Brasco, I heard, was very inaccurate. I mean, it was very truthful, but what they said is Lucky wasn't killed because...
He was not. Lucky wasn't killed at all.
Sonny Black.
Lucky wasn't killed at all. Lucky died of cancer in prison.
Gotcha, okay.
In the early 80s. His daughter was on that Mob Wives. Or his granddaughter was on Mob Wives.
Okay.
And she said there was a lot of stuff that was inaccurate. But
Yeah, Joey Pistone's story is kind of interesting too because he didn't start off as a cop. He was doing something else. I forget what it was, but he didn't start off as a cop, and then somehow he got into it. I forget how he got recruited and everything, but it's kind of interesting. So if you get a chance, Donnie Brasco, who's actually Joey Pistone, if you get a chance to look up his story, go ahead and do so. I find it funny that him and Michael Francis are friends, though.
I don't, because they were, that was the same family. Like the family that he was, like Lefty and Sonny and all that, that was the same family Michael was in.
Francis was involved.
So, yeah. Yeah, a lot of, like, we can get into a lot of stuff, like, the guys in the Jersey mob used to get together and they had them on tape watching The Sopranos and they got their reaction.
Yeah, I did. I've heard that before. They said it was one of the most accurate. The Sopranos got it right or something. They said.
Yeah, so. Like the Philly mob is one that I think a lot of people were kind of scared of because they're like ultra violent, like Nicky Scarfo and Joseph Merloni.
It's crazy.
Merlino.
John Gotti killed his own boss, if I'm not mistaken, and he was still walking.
But Vince the Chin Gigante had put a hit out
on John Gotti?
Yeah, they blew up his car in front of his house and it caught his underboss, Frankie something or other. I can't remember his name. But John was supposed to be in that car. Vincent the Chin went against the commission and tried to kill John Gotti after he killed his boss. I forget his name.
Speaking of Gotti, you ever heard of John Alty or something like that? He was a hitman, apparently, for that same family. And he was protecting John Gotti Jr. at one point. This guy is on Vlad talking about how many people he killed and how he did it. Vlad's like, okay, so Michael, the whatever, I'm just making up a name. Yeah, I shot him twice in the chest outside of a club. Who cares? But
did you not see the Iceman tapes?
What I'm saying is, the Iceman's in jail. John Alty is not. So I'm just saying it's a trick.
Give up. Think about this though. They have periods where they lock up 70, 80 mobsters at a time because of these dudes.
Yeah.
So okay, this guy's off the streets. We know he's killed people and he has immunity, but if we give him up out of witness protection, he's fucked.
The biggest trip to me though is he talks about it. He talks about it like it's nothing. You know what I mean?
But it is nothing to them.
That's crazy to me though. Like,
did you not watch the Iceman tapes? That dude was chewing gum talking about, yeah, he made me mad, so I shot him.
I did see the Iceman tapes.
He didn't last long. Yeah. Did you see when this dude said, the dude dropped down to his knees, started praying to God, save his life. So I told him, God came down and saved him.
What's going on?
I'd let him go. But God never showed up.
Yeah, you're right, Fred.
So he never went anywhere.
Yeah.
He said, maybe that's one I shouldn't have done, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yo,
but
he was ruthless.
But it didn't get to me like this dude John Alty talking about it. I mean, I felt like I was watching Jersey Shore. One of the guys on there was like, "Yeah, I shot."
Bragging about shit. Yeah. Nah, the Iceman. That dude gave me chills. Like it's hard to shake me. I was like, God, like he was telling stories like he was entertained by it.
Right. I mean, some people.
I pulled up next to this dude, shot him in the face with a shotgun. Just happened. And then he was putting cyanide in syringes and walking by you in the club and poking you and just keep moving. He said that guy had a heart attack. They thought it was his hamburger, but it wasn't. He just was like, fuck it. I was like, what the hell? Dude, that's the most ruthless dude that... He's probably the most ruthless dude besides... No, the only one I can even compare to is that girl. What was the girl serial killer? She was crazy.
Now, I know
Charlize Theron played her in a movie. I can't remember what the name of it.
Wernos. Eileen Wernos. Monster.
She was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen her interview tapes? Oh my god.
Yeah, the last interview though, it seemed like she was remorseful about shit though. Like the last one I saw, like she almost changed her whole psyche or something. And that might be a ploy. You never know. You know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's the last chance they get for like clemency and all that stuff. Like, hell, man, she was crazy.
Yeah. Marshall, what's going on, bro? You missed the wing joint. Fred tried to tag you, man. You missed the wing joint. We did a Buffalo Wild Wings Hot Wings challenge, which the point of that one was to see how fast you could eat the hottest wing they got in under 6 minutes. And I was about 4 seconds over 6 minutes. I think he was 3 minutes and some seconds. I wasn't trying to keep up with him, trust me.
3 minutes and 3 seconds under.
There you go.
I was trying to be 4 minutes.
I thought you said 2 minutes.
No, I was trying to be under 2 minutes. I'm telling you, I don't care if it's making excuses, but the wings had set for a little while, so they were a little bit tougher.
Yeah.
And it was harder to like pull them off and swallow them.
Man.
That's what she said. But
so yeah, that like I said, seeing the mobsters talk, I can't imagine what they're getting paid for interview because I don't think they're doing it for free. Yeah,
a shit ton. These guys are fucking consultants for the FBI and all these law enforcement companies on how the mob works.
You know what's the funniest thing to me is when somebody asks them, "Do you feel like you're a rat?" I've never heard one of them.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, exactly. Not one of them be like, "Yeah, I kind of did." They're like, "No, here's the difference."
They always have an excuse.
Yeah,
always have an excuse.
Here's the difference. I never put anybody in jail. Did I work with the feds? Yes, but I never put anybody in jail. I never led.
Or I wasn't. I don't even know. Like, I guess, like, there's a couple definitions of snitching, ratting, whatever. Like, I've heard it said, you're a snitch if you save yourself to tell on somebody else. One of the things that bothers me probably most about these every inner city in the world, including Wilmington, and a lot of people on my Facebook, is free my nigga. Your nigga's a criminal. Keep his fucking ass there. Tell your nigga stop doing crime. What happens if your nigga kills somebody in my family? Still free him? What happens if somebody in my family kills somebody in yours?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Can I say free that nigga? No. Are you stupid?
I've never in my life seen that sign. I've seen free Meek Mill or something like that, but I've never seen that particular sign ever.
I've seen that. And let me clarify that. Free my nigga so.
Hold on. I gotta take a quick break. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna rant on a little while on this free my bullshit. Like, tell him to stop committing crimes and then we can free him. But I don't want him out if he gonna commit crimes. I don't want to hear he didn't. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It can't be justice for so-and-so. And then when it's not your so-and-so, free him. It's not the way things work, man. No. They all belong in jail. I get the justice system is a little messed up, a lot messed up, and when it comes to blacks and minorities, 100% understood. But I can tell you, if you're on a drug corner, right? I can tell you, if you're on a drug corner and the police roll by and there's drugs underneath where you are, and they've seen somebody that looks like you passing off to a car that drove by, odds are it was probably you. And I'll tell you that I can remember this. So I used to work as a school resource officer, and I remember getting into an argument with a parent that said, "That's not my child. My child would never do that." Okay, let me show you this video. That's not my child. Oh. So, he's wearing what he has on. That person in the video has the same thing he has on. But that's not your child. He wasn't in the bathroom smoking weed. Okay, how about this? Let's do this then. Give me a hand. Not you, but give me a hand. Smell those fingertips. Tell me what those fingertips smell like. Smell like weed, don't it? So, somebody that has the same exact clothes on as yourself was in the same exact bathroom I saw him coming out of. Fingertips smell like weed. But he wasn't smoking weed. Okay, how about this? You go on and take him home for 5 days, and I'll see you in 5 days. Just make sure you bring him back or don't bring him back. I'm not trying to... It wasn't my kid. Man, shut the fuck up. That whole "it wasn't them." Man, please. The percentage of "it wasn't them" versus "it was them" is way, way, way crazy. And I'm not for locking people up just to be locking people. I'm not like that, but if you're not in the, I can tell you this. How about this? If you're not in the area, you can't get blamed for it. It's just like if you weren't at work the day a fire started at work, guess who will never get blamed for that fire? You. Right? Like, you can't get blamed. Like, it's not your fault. If you're not on the drug corner, you'll never get blamed for being on the drug corner. You don't pick up a gun, you'll never get blamed for shooting nobody.
Yeah, but what if you live on the drug corner and you're walking through at the time that something happens? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not always that black and white, but I hear what you're saying.
Exception, not the rule.
Yeah, but I'm saying you can still be out minding your business.
Understand that's not how that stuff works, though. So how it works is somebody's up on the corner watching these transactions.
Okay, and that's
so if you're just walking through, nobody's gonna say, "Oh yeah, he been selling all day."
I don't
is it
know
possible?
about
Yes.
shit. Okay, yeah.
Is it possible? Yes, but exception, not the rule.
Yeah, he was saying basically the same thing I was saying. That, you know.
No, I get it. I mean, there are more than enough innocent people. What I'm saying is that's the exception, not the rule. If you don't put yourself in a position. For example, my mom always said, nothing good ever happens late at night. She never let me go to dances. She said, you'll never have to worry about getting in a fight, getting in trouble at a dance, nothing like that, because you'll never go to the dance. Never got in trouble as a kid. Wasn't allowed out.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean,